Hi, my name is Hope Steen, and I am going to read a piece I've been working on called Unexpected. Turn here, to the right, at that black mailbox. They turned down the dirt road slowly, all four tires pausing in the deep ruts previously made from the combo of last week's torrential thunderstorm and her daddy's old red Ford that buckled and hobbled on nearly bald tires, but always seemed to crank, at least by the third try. Sam hopped out of the two-door hatchback to open the metal gate, padlocked with the code that was meant to deter riffraff. She caught Nicholas's eyes and his head cocked just a little with his eyebrow raised as he watched her fumble with the lock. The gate swung open and she slid back in, ducking her head to avoid the door jam. The tires bouncing as they rolled found every pothole that led to the double wide. She caught herself looking around the 10 acres as if it were for the first time, wondering what this handsome boy with the wavy coal black hair would think of her. Eyes landing on the hair caught just above his collar, catching her breath for half a second, then over his shoulder to see the waist-high grass poking through the rusted fender of that old chalkboard-colored Nova. The abandoned tractor in the field just beyond her peripheral, recognizable only by shape. The John Deere paint long gone through the years of neglect. The lean-to shackish chicken coop behind the trailer came into view, brown and bowed, splinters begging for a touch. Her stomach clenched. As the car rolled to a stop, she glanced quickly at him and then back to the floorboard. So, talk to you later? She cocked her head towards him. Yeah, sure. Nicholas, now drifting away from her, was staring at the yellowed trailer and the mold that was crawling up the corners and around the windows like an inverted curtain, almost lace-like in pattern, the kind his grandmother had in her living room. They were handmade by a lady in town who specially ordered the fabric and sewed the delicate lace with precision as she was a master seamstress. At least that is what he overheard his grandmother saying to anyone who happened to stop in for a visit. Sam reached for the door handle as Nicholas snapped back into frame, reaching for hers. Their eyes danced between the silence, trying to read words that had not yet formed on their lips. The screen door slammed into the yellowed siding, causing both to jump. Sonny stepped out on the narrow porch, taking 2 steps in those heavy boots before leaning on the rail, his chest shirtless and puffed. I gotta go. Okay, but can I call you, pick you up for school tomorrow? What time do you get ready? I can be there by 7:30. I gotta go, Sam said near breathlessly, her head down, scooping up her purse and literature book clumsily, barely able to hold both without the contents tumbling into the dirt. Sliding out his car door and walking towards the house, her kids kicking up the dust as she walked. I'm sorry, she mouthed back in his direction over her shoulder, mind racing, rapidly flipping through any excuse she could use for why this boy was on his property with his daughter. This town, full of chickens and double wides, with one yellow light blinking mindlessly, held stagnantly little for teenagers to do, save for the Edisto River a few miles down the way. It rushed by, jet black with caramel swirls at the surface, like a big cup of her grandpa's coffee. Around mid-August, it could feel as warm. It wasn't a river to be trusted as it claimed all things in its path. Once a small red igloo cooler with its faded white top had bobbled by, the handle still in the position for the next owner to pluck it right up and store tomorrow's lunch of cold cuts and soda in its belly. Sam's brother had attempted and failed to snag it before the river nearly claimed him too, half a mile up the stream before anybody could realize it. He talked about his misfortune from then on, wondering what treasures they could have found. Maybe he could be rich right now. A kid could dream. Thank you.